Uganda's wetlands are among the country's most valuable natural resources, supporting livelihoods, protecting biodiversity, and sustaining life for millions of people. Wetlands play a vital role in both nature and communities.
There are other things we always get from the wetlands, like the papyrus. People always pick them for craft materials.
The greener pastures have also been habitat for some birds.
Kacham para sieki foga eni atinga loro wako manke family para washama pogirom.
Even some area they have been mining the sand, and this sand can be used for construction.
The benefits are adventure, and there are some weeds which are herbal, which are useful to our community.
Actually, I've benefited a lot. One is fresh water for domestic use, and another thing is community tourism, where in turn some people benefit direct and some other people benefit indirect.
So many tourists come, mostly the birders, to see the birds.
Today, these fragile ecosystems face increasing threats from human activity and climate change.
Climate change is a real threat. In 2019, we had very, very high rains. Water levels increased, people were displaced, and so we have to look at how to settle them. However, also to note that most of those people had encroached on the riverbanks and the lake shores.
There is some other part of community encroachment by cutting the indigenous trees. In some areas, farmers are using chemicals, which we think is dangerous to the wetland itself.
Nestled between the mighty River Nile and the shores of Lake Albert lies one of Uganda's most remarkable ecosystems, the Murchison Falls Albert Delta Wetland System, a place where water, wildlife, and communities exist in harmony. Stretching across vast papyrus wastelands and open savanna, the delta is home to incredible biodiversity, including migratory birds, fish species, hippos, crocodiles, and the rare shoebill stork. Recognized as a Ramsar Site of international importance, the Murchison Falls Delta plays a critical role in supporting livelihoods, regulating water systems, and sustaining Uganda's natural heritage.
Murchison Falls is a hotspot area because of the different attributes it provides to government. Tourism is one of our leading earners of foreign exchange, and Murchison Falls National Parks is one of the go-to areas.
That area in general is also critically important as a resource for the country, not only for tourism this time, but also the discovery of hydrocarbons there, oil and gas. Also became an opportunity, but a big challenge at the same time.
If you will look at the way the oil and gas industry has developed in Murchison Falls, they've tried as much as possible to avoid hotspot biodiversity areas. So government's intervention in those areas include technical backstopping, support supervision, actual involvement in demarcation of those wetlands in that area, also protection of floodplains, very, very important, and then the involvement of local communities through interventions such as livelihood options, but also in the management of the resource and policing its use.
Across Uganda, efforts are underway to restore and protect wetlands for future generations. This is the story of conservation and restoration of Murchison Falls Albert Delta Wetland System, Ramsar Site.
Total Energies signed a memorandum of understanding with Nature Uganda in 2024, and the aim of this collaboration was to ensure that we are able to conserve wetlands within the landscape where Total Energies works. As a result of this partnership, we're looking at restoration of a minimum of 500 hectares of wetlands, but also ensuring that governance structures are put in place for each wetland. So we are utilizing this opportunity to work with Nature Uganda, who obviously also work with the government of Uganda, to have a tripartite partnership.
In supporting the management of Ramsar Sites, government has 4 priority areas. One is to restore areas that are degraded. 2 is to demarcate the wetland boundaries. And 3 is to develop management plans for those Ramsar sites. The management plan has a vision, it has strategic objectives, and it has strategic action. And it spans the districts that host the Ramsar site.
There are 5 districts that surround this Ramsar site: Pakwach, Nyoya, Chidandongo, Masindi, and Bulisa. They all came together and agreed on the vision and goal of this management plan, which means when we are implementing the plan, it will be a plan for everybody who has got a stake in that area.
The objective of the management plan was to bring together all the stakeholders. The management of wetlands involves all sectors. It is one of those unique resources that is single, but it has over 12 stakeholders. Fisheries wants it, education wants it, the military also. So we look at collaboration from the arm that we must collaborate with different ministries, departments, and agencies, but we must also collaborate with civil society organizations who are no longer the watchdogs, but we also task them to put the money that they get into conservation.
Total Energies provided resources to develop a management plan so that we all have a guiding document of what we should do together in order to protect that very important resource. That's what Nature Uganda is doing right now. Before we started developing the management plan, we went through biodiversity assessments. Biodiversity assessments means you need to go and find out, I'm talking about birds. You need to go and find out how many are they, where do they live, what do they do there. We surveyed mammals, because mammals are very important into that ecosystem. We surveyed plants. Of course, everything depends on plants. So we needed to understand what is the diversity and uniqueness of this area in terms of plants. We also needed to know what the people think about this. We conducted what we call the CAP, Knowledge, Attitudes, and Practices survey. We needed to know, what do people think about this site? Are they interested in this conservation of this area? How do they benefit? What does it mean to the culture of the people? Because when we're looking at this conservation, we need to make sure that we are talking about the ecology and biology, but also we need to know what people think. Because ultimately, the people are the custodians. They are custodians of these resources. So they need to be party to this process. We contacted everybody at the village level. And then we went up to the sub-county level. All the sub-counties, Gwendo, Wanseko, and others, we consulted them and said, what do you think about this site? What can we do about them?
Most of these past chiefs were involved, and they came and narrated the benefits, so it enticed a good number of locals to join. And good enough, we just started right from the village to parish, to sub-county level, up to the district.
We are looking at livelihood by providing them alternative livelihood, like apiary, And also, we are planning to make sure that since this community borders the national park, we train guides which can be involved into the tourism activities. And also, those who are now doing agriculture, instead of going to dig direct into a wetland, we can have activities like irrigation. You just get water from the wetland and then you spray your crops upwards. After that management plan, we are supposed to do restoration of some of the areas which have been degraded. And we are supposed to do community engagements to inform the communities about the wise use of the wetland.
We can restore those things back by planting other trees which is needed around the Ramsar site so that we can improve the Ramsar site like it was in the past.
One day I was told by my grandmom that they used to have plenty of birds, like the shoebills. For sure, for me, I did not see shoebill. So with this plan, if they've restored, I think and I hope I will see the shoebill, and even my children will see.
The benefits are many, and they are many because the people who are the beneficiaries participated in the development of the plan. So we have got elements of income generation. We have got elements of food production. We have got elements of energy production. We have got elements of ecotourism development, so that communities can be able to feel the importance of the site.
The plan itself is quite critical, not only for Total Energies, but also other players in the landscape, including the government, including other private sector players, including CSOs. We're looking at working together to ensure that this critical Ramsar site within this landscape is conserved, protected, but also restored.
My call, therefore, is to all the stakeholders: government, local government, civil society, private sector, cultural institutions, that when we're talking about conservation, it is for the benefit of everybody.
For me, as a national focal point, I want us to demystify Ramsar. Wherever you go, people talk about Ramsar, as if it is an institution. But we are talking about Ramsar sites. They are sites of international importance, mostly because they are breeding areas for birds. Birds that are running away from winter, and they only go back when they have bred. If we destroy those Ramsar sites, we will not have these birds in existence.
Everybody has got a stake, everybody has got a benefit. And we should work together as stakeholders to conserve this critically important wetland.